Coach, I guess just right off the bat, I mean, what did you kind of make of that and kind of just not being able to score?
I think the biggest thing is found ways to lose a game, not ways to win a game. And whether that's penalties, whether it's not converting on sudden changes, whether it's, holdings on special teams, and obviously playing really well defensively and probably until the last play, to be honest with you. And they had John under duress. We could never get ahead of the chains, never establish a run game, not very many explosive plays besides the early one with Kyle. And to be shut out of the second half is just really disappointing.
We talked a little bit last week, too, that it seemed like in the Oregon State and New Mexico games, the big plays just weren't going the way that they had early in the season. That seems to be the issue again. The other team, for the third straight week, they made the last big play. What does it take to change that and get it back to where you guys are the ones that making that last play to change the game?
Well, I mean, there's an aggressive approach you need to take. I mean, they came back and, we ran a call that we've kind of been in, and they picked the guy on the rub, and they made the one play when we didn't. We had some opportunities obviously on offense to close the door off of the takeaways in the second half. Credit to Wyoming. They came to play. We knew they would. We knew it would be a physical 60-minute football game, and I'm just really disappointed for our seniors. We got a good group of seniors that really gave everything they had to this program and this team, and to not send them out the right way when we were very capable of doing that is obviously really disappointing to me.
Just what were the main problems on offense tonight?
I gotta look at it. I was watching a lot of the iPads with the defense. From a little more drop eight, they weren't going to play a ton of man coverage. Analytically, they weren't a very good defense coming in, but they were extremely good on third down, like top 5 in the country. And I don't know about our third down conversions, 1 of 10 and 0 and 2 on fourth down. It says the story right there. We couldn't keep momentum. We couldn't keep series and drives going, and never established a run game, and that's a recipe for disaster offensively.
It seems like October and November of the last 2 years have not really gone your guys' way. What do you think is behind that, and are you guys like getting worse in some ways as the year goes on?
Once again, when the year's done, we evaluate everything, and we lost 3 games by combined 7 points the last 3 weeks. All very disappointing. All games we were capable of winning. But we win as a team, we lose as a team, and we found different ways to do it, right? That's not winning football. That's not doing the little things to your execution, to the effort levels and the standard that you need to do to win. I don't care who you play. Right? You can't go out there and not execute your job and make sure that we're staying ahead of the chains and obviously defensively getting some stops. But it wasn't good team football the last 3 weeks. And that's what it takes to win football games.
The share of games that the defense has had recently, what did you see from them today, particularly Quinn Roth's strip sack?
Well, I think we've been a turnover defense, Fortunately, we forced them into some punts without needing those. I thought we did a good job of stopping the run. I think that's where it starts anytime you play a team like this and forcing them to pass it a little bit. And I thought we contained the explosive pass really until the last series or so. So it was a good job by the defense, but we're capable of going out there and slamming the door in a 2-minute drill, and we weren't able to do that.
Obviously, John gives the ball away at the end of the first half. Did you talk to him after that? Do you know where his head was at after going into the second half after that turnover? How big was that? Yeah, you
got to be resilient. You got to respond. You got to wipe it. It was a mistake. There's no reason to reach for a first down right there. We're in a good situation, probably in a go, trying to score before the end of the half and extend our lead while we're still getting the ball. To put it in harm's way, wasn't a great decision, but he wipes that stuff, right? He's a competitor. He knows he's going to make a mistake here and there as a quarterback and the ball in his hands every play. So obviously that was a tough mistake to make, but I thought he responded well. There wasn't clear pictures. I got to watch the film more to see why that is. And he just, we couldn't continue to move the ball at all at any sort of clip offensively in the second half.
Coming and going for your 9th win, were you surprised to see the stands that empty, and did you feel kind of a lack of energy?
No, I'm appreciative of everyone that showed up today. I'm appreciative of everyone that showed up. I mean that. All Cougs, you were here. that means you love our program, you love these seniors, you're invested in what we're doing, and I appreciate everyone that was there.
Did you feel like the team came with the level of energy you would expect?
I do. I thought, there's some powerful senior speeches last night. They talked about each other and what they wanted to do and come out there with the right energy. And, you got to navigate the emotions of it. You can't get too high. You can't be too low. Playing your last senior game at Giesa Field. We know we've earned another one, and we got to finish this season off. This is a sour taste. This is something where, as a competitor and the head coach, it starts with me, period. Right? This is on me. I got to have our guys ready to come out here and compete September, October, November, December. It doesn't matter what it is, right? So obviously a really disappointing result, a somber locker room, and that's what happens when you underachieve.
Thank you.
Andrew? Coach, it seemed like John was never really able to get comfortable in the pocket today. What were they doing up front that made it difficult for him?
Well, right out the gate, I mean, they took us, and we knew it was going to be a physical game. I don't know if we weren't ready for that. Our mindset wasn't there for that. But right out the gate, I mean, they took us, and we struggled a little bit, in pass pro the first two series. I thought we settled in a little bit better as they went. I don't think we handled some of the movements the way we were capable of doing it. And he just was never on rhythm, or our offense was never on rhythm. So John will be the first to take responsibility for it. I appreciate that as the quarterback and leader of our team. And he's been in such a great rhythm, really the second half of the season. And really since the Boise game, he's been in such a great rhythm. So we were just off rhythm today, and that was the result.
Just on that fourth down play, you called the timeout. Did you like the call you guys made, and was it just a lack of execution on that play?
Well, I wanted to get the look. Do you want to get the formation and make sure we were in the right deal? I mean, we called a kind of a pressure check. Thought we'd get more of a max pro look, and a look that we've used a couple times. And credit to them, they rubbed our two-man player coming out the gate. And so obviously we'll take a look at all those calls, but it's not one call that loses a game. So there's execution points throughout the whole game that we've kind of done better, and obviously that's a big moment that we'll all remember.
We know you're awaiting a bowl destination, but just where do you go from here?
Well, I think right now my mind just goes to these seniors. I'm disappointed for them. When you see kids day in and day out, they wear their logo with pride. They've given me personally a lot. I wanted it bad for them. And when you want something for somebody else that bad, I mean, you're invested in it. I think our team was invested in it for these guys, and I wanted it for our team. And to get a result like this is hard to take.
What did you say to them, those seniors?
Told them I love them. I went in there and chewed their ass. Told them we didn't. I could have done all that stuff, and it wasn't the time. There'll be a time for that. But at the same time, it's like, man, I love these kids. They've given us everything they've had. These 17 seniors are important to me. And it's a wake-up call to the young guys. Winning isn't easy. I don't care who you play, where you play, how you play. I don't care the other team's records. I don't care any about that. You got to come to win. And, we did things tonight that wasn't winning football.
What would your message be to fans about just the last 3 weeks?
I'm disappointed with you. You can be upset with me and point it at me. I'm the head coach here. That's why I sit in this chair. I got to be better. I'll own that. But these kids don't quit. These kids give Cougs everything they have. This place means a lot to them. And unfortunately, we're not where we want to be. We're still building a program. And these kids that we're going to sign on Wednesday, need to realize that. There's no shortcuts to success. None. So we got to do it the hard way. We got to be better at practice. We got to be better coaches. We got to be better teachers. We got to put our guys in better positions to win than we have been. And that starts with me.
The one more game left on the schedule to get that 9th win. How do you really change the second half offense and team overall to make sure you can close out games more consistently, at least in this last one?
Yeah, I mean, I think first, every season's different. I don't compare seasons. Every game is different. I don't compare games. We just haven't played enough team football. Getting the stop against New Mexico, have an opportunity with the ball against Oregon State, and then obviously having a chance in the second half to get ourselves to a double-digit lead and obviously have an opportunity to close the door, right? So whatever's needed, whatever it takes, that's how you win games. And we just haven't done that enough the last 3 weeks.
Sure, would that mean to you to be able to end the season like that on a win, especially against a tough team in a bowl game?
Well, you know how it goes. I mean, there'll be a lot that happens between now and then. It's the bowl game right now is really on the back burner. It's the front burner is keeping our football team together. Because on paper, we have a quarterback that's going to be a top 10 player in the country next year. We got 5 offensive line seniors that'll have over 100 starts. Got a freshman tailback that can be deadly, right? And we got to replace Kyle Williams' production, right? And have one of the best offenses in the country. Our main interior guys are coming back. Our 3 corners can be coming back. Buddha, a really dynamic player, right? We have a lot of great pieces to continue to build our football program on. We need to keep them here, and college football is crazy. It's crazy, right? So, all those things are different, and we'll worry about the bowl game here in a couple of weeks and give these guys about a week off to rest after a long season and then be ready to attack what the future holds.
What are the things that you can control to keep those guys here? Some of it's clearly external, but what besides dollars can you do?
I mean, these guys know where I stand. I mean, loyalty is important. It is. And treating these kids right, developing these kids right, show them that we can take them to where they want to go in the long haul. I think that's very important. You can do everything you want to do right here from Washington State. Surround them, with people that can take them there and challenge the hell out of them every single day and never apologize for it. I think that's how you do it. And we've built a really strong culture here that people want to be a part of. But there's a lot of challenges. There's a lot of challenges in today's football, and we'll now have to navigate everything that comes our way.
Excuse me. Excuse me again. Maybe it's a little redundant to kind of the first question, but just I guess kind of the thing maybe worth wondering is how do you get the team that beats Texas Tech and that wins the Apple Cup? How do you get that team to show up in October, in November, rather than the team that loses 15-14 to Wyoming?
I mean, I'll take that on me, Jamie. It's on my shoulders. I'm the head coach for a reason, But motivation is fleeting, right? Standard wins, discipline wins, execution wins. So it isn't just about motivating. We cut back practices. We make sure they're fresh. We add extra walkthroughs to make sure we're in good positions. And, you just got to do things that win football games. And that's my number one job, is to make sure the team every week is prepared to execute and win, right? So I'll take that on my shoulders, and we'll evaluate everything in our program as we always do.
In terms of fading as the season has gone on the last couple of years, I guess what kind of patterns do you see there, and how can you kind of prevent that, in the future?
We'll evaluate it as the season goes. I just biggest thing is everything's different. Last year 3 October losses were to ranked teams. I mean, there's just a lot that goes into this, guys, and this is a disappointing result. It just is. And we had a lot on the line. We had a lot to play for, not just 3 weeks ago, but we did tonight too for these seniors. So, like I said, I'll take it on me. It's my responsibility to make sure the team's constantly ready to play.
Yeah, sounds good. Buddha seemed to be all over the field tonight. I was filling out the stat sheet. What did you see from him, and how has he progressed over the course of the season to what we see now?
I think Buddha has a high level of talent. I think his focus and determination to the details has gotten a lot better. He's matured a lot, and anytime you mature as a competitor and as a football player is going to allow you to play, more sound football, right? Talent just doesn't win on defense. You can't do it all. And there were some things tonight that he chased that he shouldn't have. He's a good player. He's physical. He's demanding more out of himself. That's why he's seeing better results.